Hey guys, it's Hugh StarCraft here, bringing you another StarCraft 2 commentary. This one is Game 2 of the best of 3 series between Dimaga, the blue Zerg player, and Hasu, the red Protoss. This is a very uncommon map to see a Pro League game on. I just haven't seen it very often. NS can fill me in on the name. I completely blanked on the name. Had it in my head before we started, but anyway, this is game two. First game did go to Dimaga with a well-timed Zergling push-out, and before I get too carried away, I'll let NS say a couple words.
Hey guys, it's NS. As you're saying, Hugh, you didn't remember the name. It is Jungle Basin, and we were having a little discussion about this beforehand, just saying how it's not a very common map to see games on, because besides this one expansion right at the bottom of your natural, all the other expansions of the map are pretty far out, pretty out in the open, and pretty hard to secure. So it's not common to see really long games on this map, or games at all for that matter. So it will be interesting to see this. It'll be something a little different than what you're used to, hopefully, and hope it turns out to be a good game. The first one was fun to watch, and these are both very good players, so hopefully it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so like you said, no cheese going on yet. We do have pretty standard play. We're going to see whether Dimaga chooses to get a 15 pool or if he's going to go for maybe a hatch. But it does seem like this is kind of that moment of waiting around. He does have one guy patrolling, making sure the Protoss does not grab that quick expo, because on Protoss you can actually hold off pretty well. But Hasu sticking with one gateway, so we're not going to see a super early expansion. And really just Dimaga is droning up, and he's actually getting an in-base hatchery before he gets anything else.
That's something you don't see too often. I'm actually...
Wow.
It's interesting that he decided to go for the in-base hatchery as opposed to putting it down on the low ground and getting an expansion. Not 100% sure what the motivation for doing that is, but okay.
So now that spawning pool is going down, I'm really surprised he did not throw that up at the expansion. You might as well just throw that up down there, because you can. I mean, you might as well mine on it. But maybe he has a purpose. I am not a pro player, so I mean, obviously he probably knows better than me. He's getting that extractor up. Just really surprised to see that. Going back to Hasu's base, if we look at the production tab, he is getting that cybernetics core and getting out his first zealot. And this this drone in here is still just dancing back and forth, making sure no expansion is going up. He wants to see that expansion time. If Hasu is not careful and kill that beforehand.
Something I just want to mention that we also saw Hasu do last game, although I didn't really think to comment then, is the positioning on this cybercore and this gateway is actually pretty good. This is something I think you're seeing more and more Protoss players do, is go for a wall like this, where you put the really meaty buildings in the front, you get the pylon in the back to keep it protected, and then if you just pop out one or two units, you can pretty effectively hold that choke point. So it's good building placement by Hasu there, definitely something to take note of if you are a Protoss player.
Yeah, so really, Dimaga just droning up. That is, though, a really good point. You definitely want those more meaty buildings up in the front, as they can take a lot of the damage, and you don't have to risk getting that pylon taken out. Too many times have I had that pylon be taken out. And actually, Dimaga getting that third hatchery up, so he's gonna be pumping a ton of drones. He's obviously not going for anything really high-tech, because he's just going to have a lot of larvae and not too many minerals, so he is getting that expansion. I'm just still surprised to see the reasoning behind this in-base hatchery, so obviously it will come to tell and see if it works out for him.
Yeah, the only reason I can immediately think of to get that is if you're going for like some major early pressure, but all we really see from Dimaga so far is 4 Zerglings. I think that constitutes his entire army, unless you count this queen here. So maybe he just wanted to get his economy going really, really quickly, double his drone production, but to be honest, I still can't figure out the rationale behind doing that. That's just a really interesting play, I guess.
Yeah, if we look at Harvesters at this time, it's actually 29/23, so he is definitely macroing up like a champ. He is getting that Baneling's Nest inside his base, a little bit hidden off to the side there. I don't know if the scout has seen it. If we look at Hasu's vision, he has not seen it yet, so he's going to try and protect that. You definitely want to keep that tech hidden, and this probe is, I don't think, going to be able to see anything, as it is taken out pretty quickly. Those drones are transferring now. And we just have more gateways on the way for Hasu, so he's going up for right now 3 gates, and he does have that expansion on the way, so he is going to start that expansion. Wisely putting that pylon near the rocks. You definitely want to keep an eye on those rocks because it is a pretty unguarded way into your base.
And Hugh, I remember last game you talked a little bit about hallucination, how you can use a hallucinated phoenix to get sight to blink stalkers up. We do see a couple sentries on the field for Hasu right now, a single stalker at the moment, although I think he might be planning to get more later. But we do have hallucination being researched, so we might see a little bit of that. And additionally, hallucinated phoenixes are one of the best scouting units in the game because basically they're just energy. They're really fast and they're flying, so you can get good scouting information with that. So hallucination is not something you see players get too often actually, but it can definitely be worthwhile, especially for that reason.
Yeah, it's really good for scouting. Like you said, it is the fastest flying unit in the game, if I'm not mistaken.
Sorry to cut you off, but we do have a hallucinated phoenix going out across the map right now, going to get out into Dimaga's base, even try to shoot down a few overlords there to psych him out a little bit. And it is going to see a lot before it gets shot down there. So yeah, like we were saying, a lot of information for for Hasu rather, and all he lost for that was a little bit of energy.
Yeah, so really good point there. He is flying now a real phoenix in. If I'm not mistaken.
And I think that was a hallucination as well, considering that he doesn't actually have a Stargate yet.
That, good point, actually. I wasn't really thinking. A little bit of a brain lapse moment there. But
although, actually, that does raise the point of, if Dimaga didn't realize that those were hallucinations, that's going to throw him off even further, because now he completely misunderstands the tech path that Hasu is going down. So hopefully for Dimaga, he was able to realize that those were just hallucinations, but if he doesn't, he is being horribly misled at this moment.
Yeah, Dimaga is really macroing up here. He has 57 harvesters over 42, and he's only on 2 bases. He is grabbing this hidden expansion on the side, but like we said, it's really hard to keep that, and it does look like he's going to grab a 4th expansion. So we're going to really... no, actually, he's not grabbing it yet.
There it goes.
Yeah, so... I'm really surprised to see that out of him. 4 expansions. I guess he knows the Protoss player is pretty much macroing up. If we look at the army size at this point, Hasu is way ahead. I think the units-wise, it's only 8 Zerglings and 2 Queens for Dimaga at the 10-minute mark. So any sort of push at this time would definitely spell game over. So he's just banking on the fact that... no units are going to come out of Hasu's base, and maybe it will pay off for him, maybe not. But 4 expansions this early in the game is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm actually a little surprised that Hasu hasn't tried to push out yet. Sorry, that was a rather unfortunate thing for me to missay. But anyway, I'm surprised that he hasn't tried to push out yet, considering that he's been doing so much scouting. He should know at this point that Dimaga has essentially no army at all, so he should realize that he has a huge army advantage, and a push at this point would be absolutely devastating. And speaking of the devil, it looks like he is going to start pushing out right about now, so hopefully he'll be able to make something happen here, as he does have a significant army size advantage. If we look at the army tab, 2150 minerals for Hasu to 400 for Dimaga.
Yeah, I'd just like to say Dimaga has more supply, but only a few of these are actually fighting units. He only has 4 roaches and 7 lings, so I think this is pretty much going to spell disaster for him. I'm really surprised he went this 4 hatchery.
Actually, we do have a lot of roaches right at the bottom of this ramp here. I didn't even notice those guys. But, yeah, they're going to die pretty quickly, so...
Yeah, I mean, they're going to get... blocked off there. They are going to be killed pretty quickly, and I really don't see, even with these 4 hatcheries and all of these eggs, I don't see how he's going to hold off this. I think he just droned way too hard, and if just a couple good force fields go down, this force is going to take him out really quick. I don't think there's anything he can really do to hold on to this. He is producing more roaches, but I don't think they're even going to be killed pretty quickly there, and they're really, I mean, I don't see anything he can do at this point.
Yeah, that expansion does go down very quickly. Luckily for Dimaga, he was able to save, I think, every single drone there before the expansion did go down. So, a little bit of a bright side for them. And Hasu just killed the Panda Bear guy, so I think he's actually going to lose the game now.
Yeah, I don't see how he can come back from that. We do have a run-by going down, so all these as you can see, after having 4 bases, you can make a lot of roaches appear out of nowhere. So he is running in the base. We're going to see if he's going to go for a base race or if he's going to pull back. He does seem like he's going right into the main. He still doesn't